Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah, can you? You probably got a time delay. Turn your TV down.
Oh, okay. All right. Listen, I called about a couple of weeks back, and there was a bunch of houses being torn down by Erie Insurance. Well, they got another one on 6th and Parade, and it really annoyed me because there was brand new windows in that house.
Mm-hmm.
There was a $8,000 roof on that house. The grounds were well kept. It was bulldozed this morning.
Who did
Now
it?
there goes another $1,200 to $1,500 a year in tax revenue. Everybody's wondering where these taxes are going to be coming from. Well, sooner or later, I'm probably going to be the only home on the waterfront.
Erie Insurance did it?
Yes, they did.
Who tore it down? Erie Insurance.
Did they tear it down, or did we tear it
Find
down?
out. Call them. I'm almost positive that the people came down and told the 110 he's got to get his stuff out of the garage because they're going to. Erie Insurance has bought the property and they're going to bulldoze it.
Well, they will eventually.
One thing that is really bothering me is I live down on the Lower East Side and I use Parade Street a lot. And if Parade Street is going to become anything like Holland Street, I'm pretty sure my house will be going up for sale, and I got to get out of here. The traffic problems that are arising are horrendous, especially 3rd, 4th, and 5th Street on Holland. Now, when them people are getting out of work, they are the most discourteous people I've ever encountered. I'll pull up to the stop sign, the other guy will pull up to the stop sign, and I waved the guy on. Well, when you know it, his buddy goes right with him. So it's a 2-for-1 deal. I think the Erie Police ought to look into it because these people at Erie Insurance think they're untouchable as far as an accident is concerned.
Well, it's a little wild in the morning when I come down Parade Street and I come over 7th. They get a little nuts. They tend to, as you're in the turn lane, they cut you off because they don't realize they should be over there earlier, and they don't. They cut you off, and then.
Well, not only that, the traffic jam at 5th and Parade, I think we should really have the city engineers look at it and reinstall a traffic light.
At 5th and Parade?
I mean, I don't want it because in the wintertime, you've got to kill yourself to make that hill. And if you get to 5th Street, well, you're home free. You can go on with your journey.
Is that because of
but I'm actually not even concerned with it because I've got a 4-wheel drive truck, and it'll go through hell and back.
What's the traffic there now for? Erie Insurance again?
Oh, yeah.
Because of the armory there, or what?
Yeah, it's just getting heavier and heavier and heavier, and
well, they do it. They do
bump outs that were installed. These people come around 4th Street heading south on Parade, and without any regard for any people coming down Parade, they make a wide turn because they don't want to hit the bump out, and neither do I. And it was just a bad idea to put them there.
Yeah, it was.
But it created jobs for who, I don't know.
Well, it was part of a master plan that somebody envisioned.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of vision into it.
Yeah, that was the previous administration. I remember their plan was to make that almost like a gated community.
Yeah, and the Transitway Mall was a previous administration, too.
Yes, it was, and it didn't turn out too well.
Look at that and have the engineers look at 12th and Parade. If you're going southbound and you decide to turn east on 12th Street, there is no arrow for you there.
Okay, let me...
You're lucky to get one car through that intersection from 3 o'clock to 7 o'clock.
You're saying 12th and Parade, right?
Yeah.
Which direction are you heading on?
I travel these streets every day of my life, 6-7 times a day.
I do too. Which way are you heading on Parade? South?
South, yeah.
And you want to make a left-hand turn heading east, right?
Right. If you're going south,
Left left-hand turn off of Parade going east.
All right. Yeah, I usually come from the other
If you make
direction.
a left-hand turn coming down Parade going west, there is an arrow there for you.
Yeah, I guess I never head the other way. You know, so
These little things are making us crazy down here.
well, when they first did 12th and Parade, they screwed up that intersection. They
I don't know if
didn't
I
label it
mentioned
right.
to you about the bamboo down here at the foot of Parade Street. Some of it is already 16 foot tall. But it's harboring all kind of woodchucks, skunks, opossums, and there was one, we felt sorry for the woodchuck, and we called him Charlie. And in the wintertime, he'd pop his head out of the snow, and we'd throw him some carrots or whatever, junk we had, let him have something to eat. Well,
Where is that junk one?
turns out, Charlie turned out to be a Charlotte.
Oh, that's not good.
So there you go.
Where is that on Parade? What street?
Foot of Parade Street,
Okay.
Foot of Parade Street.
going east on front. Now, someone had come down with a whole crew of kids, and oh my God, I was so happy to see it. I went out there and I congratulated them kids. They were sweating bullets. They had axes and saws and all kind of equipment. I don't know who it was through. They all had green shirts on. And they did a marvelous job, and they knocked down a whole 5 foot wide of it, all the way from Parade to Wallace. And they start cleaning up beautifully at the foot of Wallace, making giant piles of this bamboo. I don't know what it is really. It looks like bamboo. So, well, now the piles, with the heat and all, they're all brown, and there's a lot of them. Now, I don't want to complain if they're going to come back and take the rest out. I don't want to stop this operation. My God, these kids need commended.
I think we're supposed
But
to.
I can actually now see the big trucks going past on the Bayfront Highway. Instead, all I did was I could hear them, and my friends would come by, toot the horn. Now, I don't know which ones they were, but I started to try to distinguish between the beeps. That's the only way I could see anything.
Usually, if we have
It's a giant wall of green.
volunteers, we usually pick up the
Now, if you
weeds, though.
could find someone and ask them, or I think the ideal thing would be for the streets department to come down with that front end loader, and because they are big piles, and just grab them and dump them in dump trucks, take them to the recycling bin there. I think that would be the best way to get rid of it. Probably take an hour or so with that kind of equipment.
Well, that's what we usually do. I'm surprised they haven't.
Well, it's been laying there a week, and it's really brown.
And that's all along.
One match, and you have a block-long fire.
And that's all along Front Street, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
East of Parade. They're doing a nice job. I mean, my God. I thought for once we're getting something for our tax dollars.
I'll call
What a deal.
I'll stop by the streets when I go home and see if they got that on their list.
That's good.
But as for your insurance, they will eventually pay. They always pay taxes, even though we give them breaks. Their property is taxable.
Well, that house was perfectly good to rent out.
And I don't.
3 or 4 apartments in it. That's about $400 a month.
What was the address? Do you remember?
420, I believe.
420.
Well, if you drive by there, you'll see a big pile and a caterpillar there with a bucket, and he just knocked it down a few hours ago.
Who was it? Who's
So I
contractor?
think they're done for the day, but the cat will stay.
That's 420. What was the street again?
But I just don't understand, how much property do they need?
Well, their master plan that they showed council years ago, a couple of years ago at least, envisions a huge campus going all the way to Parade. So they do intend on building some.
There's something wrong with this communication, Casey.
I think what you're doing is I can hear your
I
TV.
can't hear nothing on my phone. I can hear it on TV, though.
Okay, yeah, I'm hearing your TV.
Turn the TV down.
Can you turn your TV down?
Yeah.
Okay.
My sound is off.
Oh, something's wrong.
Now you should be able to hear us on the phone.
Now I got you.
Okay.
Okay, that was my fault, I guess.
That TV, what you're hearing is delay too.
Yeah, okay.
What Erie Insurance was doing is they have this master campus plan. They do intend on.
There you go again, it's off.
Oh. Is it that?
I can't hear anything.
How about now?
Okay, go ahead.
You have to
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay. I guess I get speaking to this one.
speak to here.
Okay. What they plan on doing is building this master campus, and they do. From what we saw, there were some apartments and classrooms and green space. So they will pay taxes on the property. They may get a break before that.
Well, you don't pay much taxes on property that has grass growing on it.
But they'll be putting some. I wish you. I don't know if they still have that plan available to the public, but they do have some classrooms and some like living quarters planned for their agents that come here are going to learn how to run the business.
Well, my concern is this. I know what happened to. I don't know what it's called, Bagnoni Way there.
Yeah.
7th Street through the college. You go through there in the morning, or most of the time, anytime you go through there, and you've got to stop for kids in the street walking across. It's all cluttered up. I hope I ain't going to see that down here.
Well, I'll tell you, at least Erie Insurance, and I'll give them credit for this, they have some overhead and some underground tunnels. So you don't see as much of their people really disturbing traffic downtown as much. Gannon should have done, we should have forced them to do what they do in Pittsburgh with Duquesne or the University of Pitt, and that is they have them build like overpasses.
Yeah, walkovers. Yeah,
Right.
I know what you're talking about.
We should have forced the issue. They actually, one time, they claimed the other street too, and the city cracked down on them and says you can't have all these streets, because what they were doing was that, the kids, they don't use their head, they just stagger. So it's hypothetically possible you can sit there for literally 5 to 7 minutes and never be able to get across. You'll have one stagger, two stagger,
I know.
and they got their head down looking at their phones.
Well, maybe we need a traffic light for them too.
Well, what they need is we should have put it in that they needed either put an overpass or have a security guard there, just timing every so often the students, not just helter skelter, all day long.
Traffic is getting to be a real problem down here on Lower Parade Street, especially, ambulance time. They come down Parade, try to hit Hammett, and I don't know how some of them ambulance drivers even get through.
Well, I'll try to find out for you what's going on down there, okay?
Well, take a peek into it. I took up enough of your time. Maybe
That's okay.
somebody else has something good to say.
No problem, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks for calling. Yeah, like Jim Thompson used to say, just drive really slow and you bump them out of the way. You just bump them.
Some of those kids, they don't use their head.
No, they don't.
You watch them today and they're like, looking down at their phone.
It's getting bad now with this new release of this video game that
Pokemon?
everybody's out playing it.
Not hear the latest?
What?
They have a guy now, a bunch of kids actually,
Yeah.
who will play Pokemon for you if you can't.
No, I'm just saying.
And they charge you. I forget how much it was. I was laughing my head off.
The game is breeding bad walkers and bad drivers because people are trying to drive and play it, and they shouldn't be doing that.
Go ahead, caller.
Hey, Kaz.
Yes.
Hey, guess who this is?
You sound familiar.
Sounds familiar.
Hey, Kaz, did you ever
Oh, it's
check on
Lloyd.
the Park?
Huh?
Yeah, remember you were going to check on the park certain Cascade for Barb?
Yeah, I never got it. Oh, man, you know what? I never got an answer. Hang tight. Was that about the name of it, or they were going to fix it, wasn't it?
Yeah, they were going to fix it. Remember that fire
Yeah, you know,
there?
well, actually, I announced it, Floyd. I remember I announced it. You might not have been listening. When I went up to ask Doug Mitchell, they said they actually fixed it, didn't they?
I don't know.
Hey, they told me that when I went upstairs, and it was right after you told me, and I thought I announced it here because I came back the next week and I had a couple notes. They told me they did make the necessary repairs. That's that one like...
Certain Cascade.
Right, I'm trying to... It's down near that club down there.
Cascade Club.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, they said they made the repairs, and I think I went by there one day and it looked like it was fixed.
Oh, you know, I haven't been on there a few weeks.
Yeah, that's why you... When you told me, now I remember when I said, yeah, I did check on that when they said... They had made the necessary repairs, that they were aware of it and they had done it.
Oh, okay. And did you ever find about the house on 600 Park 24th? Remember the one they ripped down? They never hauled anything away.
It's still there?
Yeah.
I got to bring... Well, you know what? I'll bring that up with Blighted Review and see what happened. 600... What was that?
On East 24th. About 640.
640, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, I go by there a lot, too, so I'll take a look.
Oh, okay. You know, the guy had a TV tube out. You couldn't hear what he was saying.
The other guy, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't realize that, and I told him. But, yeah, they're supposed to... once they tear down a house, they're supposed to haul the stuff away.
They've been there for a year now.
That's not good. Wow. Is it just stuff they put in a hole, or is it laying on the outside?
No, everything is still there, the whole house all.
I mean, they didn't just fill the hole up. It's actually on the edge and everything?
Yeah, all the Terrios are hanging out and all.
Okay, I get over there because I got a friend lives down there. I'll make sure I go by there and take a look.
Okay. You said you ain't on the air next week?
No, I said last week we weren't. We should be on next week.
Oh, okay.
You sure?
Huh?
You sure?
Well, I never know.
We'll figure it out.
I never know when something comes up. I have to. But we'll be seeing you shortly down there, Lloyd.
Oh, yeah, not even a month away.
We'll have to. Oh, you want to go? What? He's afraid to go.
I have to learn about air if he's going to run for mayor.
Who?
Yeah.
That's true. But I'll see you down there, Lloyd, when I come down to visit you. Okay?
Yeah, you know, they have to have a good time. Some of the brewski.
Yeah, he's a little afraid. I think he's not quite. We're going to give him some of the sacred soup.
Oh, no, I knew that's what you were talking about. No charnina.
But
Yes, China. Where can you get some good from there? Where's some good Chinina?
It's around.
No, thanks.
Well, where I went out to North Park, it wasn't that good.
the Brodsky's.
Yeah.
I didn't like
You
it.
don't like his? On Lawrence Park?
Yeah, I used to go down to Polish Falcons.
They still, Baby's gone, but they still have it, I think.
Oh, we have good Chinese here, tell them.
Where at the Holy Trinity?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't need it.
I'll get some.
You didn't know what you were eating.
I'm going to buy him some scabovi.
Just like head cheese.
I don't know what that.
If
Oh,
you
that's
ate head
nasty.
cheese,
No,
you would never.
I will not.
He put me to. He goes,
Lloyd, we'll work on this, gentlemen, okay?
Okay.
So I tried it.
See you, Lloyd.
I really liked it,
Oh, no, just no.
but I didn't want to know what was in it.
Yeah, I don't want.
Don't never ask what's in there.
I went down to.
You don't want to know what's in there.
I don't really do, but it tastes good. But anyway, I went down to bike night on a Thursday, and I looked. This fence was going up between 5th and 4th, 8-foot high fence up.
Wait a minute, 5th and 4th.
Yeah, when they had that stage going across the street.
I mean, we're on the shore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was 8 foot high, and you had plastic, and halfway on the sidewalk, too. And they went about 15, 20 feet into the street. And no one could sit there because of this fence, both sides. And they went out maybe 15, 20 feet.
5th and 4th on what?
On State.
On State.
In front of
The fence was all the way around the main stage.
Well, you know what that was.
all the way to 5th Street.
You know what that was about.
I know what that was
I
about.
said, what the hell is it? Who and how made this stupid idea to do
The
that?
guy that's running the thing,
Who was running it?
Mr. Pontillo.
That guy's...
The city doesn't run it. Look when they get a permit, I
I figured it was up to him. I figured he had something to do with that.
who?
Bontillo.
Well, he's in charge of the manufacturer, so, I mean, when there was a complaint made about the stage being moved because and you know why, they didn't want anybody setting up on the
With him.
customs house.
Right.
When the city has it, okay, they use that for the sponsors.
Right.
The people that, put big bucks in.
Yeah, but people down there have a good time and happy that the stage happened.
Well, I'll tell you a couple other things they do in life that you don't like. Go ahead, caller.
Oh, you'll be here all day.
Go ahead, caller.
You there?
Yes. Hello?
I hear you.
Hello? Hey, Mike.
Can you hear us now?
Okay, I got you now.
Must be only this
Yeah,
one.
this phone's being weird.
Yeah, I can hear you. We're having trouble today.
Yeah, usually my microphone works, but today it doesn't.
Put in the budget, new phone.
Well, it's some
I
kind
think that fence you're talking about, they had a boxing match there.
Right.
Yeah, that could be it. And they probably, because they're selling tickets, they didn't want people watching, right? You think, or?
Yeah, they were selling them for $75 round ringside or something.
Yeah. They didn't want you.
Yeah, but they had that fence on the sidewalk, halfway on the sidewalk,
Well,
covered with, but still, they went from 5th Street all the way past 4th Street, and no one could see.
Well, they didn't want you to see.
Yeah, but who I think is, go someplace else and do it, not hanging around with people at the stage right there.
You're a typical Erie.
No, I'm in the
You want
area.
everything for free.
No, these guys, a
What do
few
you
guys
think,
are
sir?
making, a
Think
few
you
guys
guys
are making money.
He left.
Few people are making money off it.
Look, I don't go to it because I can't afford it, okay?
Oh, you could afford it.
Not me. I don't. Hey, look, when you go to a ball game, do you remember Ainsworth?
Yes, I do.
Remember they took down the brick wall? And they put up a chain link? What's the next thing they did?
What did they do? Before my time.
No, it wasn't. That's only a few years back. After, you remember the brick wall, right? Well, then they put the chain link fence in. When we had the last baseball teams playing there. You don't remember what was along the fence? Trees.
So no one could see in.
Yeah, and then go over to the Joliet. Okay, and look what they got down the left field line. Okay, they used to have a fence. Now they got, what do you call it, inserts in there. You go to Wrigley Field, and the biggest thing they were arguing about at Wrigley was whether they should somehow charge the people across the street that put those seats up on the roof, remember?
Wow.
Different arenas have fought for this for years about, whether people have a right to. Now, it's one thing to look out your window if you're in a hotel. Okay, it's a whole other thing to put up like bleachers. I mean, some places have actually gone and blocked them off. You go to a lot of places and they put tarp across the entrance.
Yeah.
They'll tell you it's for light, but they don't want people looking in.
Oh.
That's just greedy.
Well, yeah, but you know what? If you're having an event like boxing, okay, and it's a fundraiser,
Yeah.
if you put on the open, how are you going to make any money?
Well, yeah, but somebody's sitting on the roof of their house.
Well, that's
located
okay.
there,
I mean, that's a different. But what
that's
he's
what I
saying
mean.
is,
Oh, I'm not.
you can't have it like
Yeah, I know, but it's still
Well, yeah, that's.
not tasteful.
But you have those arguments everywhere,
Yeah. True.
So when
Hey,
we
you
can
know.
start getting streets done around here on the east side there, I haven't seen anything done.
There's a couple being paved. I saw them.
We'll get you a shovel.
Oh, shit.
Hey.
You're just in
Let
a
me go
surly.
on that
You're in what they call a surly mood.
Well, you see...
Where did you get your coffee this morning?
Oh, I stopped at 38th and Pine Avenue.
Tim Hortons?
Yeah.
Geez, that's what puts you in a good mood.
That stuff will knock you out, that dark stuff.
Order the CAD special.
Yeah, it's special.
Polish pulverizer. When you go to Starbucks or Timmy's, tell them you want the darkest roast they have, and put 2 shots of espresso in there. That'll light you up.
I sure will.
Shots. Take 2 shots.
So what's going on in the big city of Erie?
What do you want to be going?
Well, what's going on, All I hear is all this stuff going on in Erie, and
I bring you on to start the controversy, and then I can
What are you doing? What's going on with the city?
What do you, I was,
that one guy was talking about the school board. Now, are they in a contract mode now, or are they done with their contract or a whole?
with the teachers?
Yes.
I'm not sure, I'm not on there, so.
Well, you know what goes on anyway.
Well, I don't pay attention like I used to.
Why don't they start making the teachers pay some of their health care? We talked about that before.
They did negotiate. I do know this, and I think the contract's in already. Because my wife, she retired about a year or so ago. They were putting more in.
And what, quarter maybe?
Well, hey, you know what? You were in the union, right?
Yes, I did, and we got screwed.
Let me ask you a question, though. When you were in your glory days.
Now, we're talking 30 years ago.
Yes.
Everybody was making money.
Yes,
industry,
so
we didn't care what they made.
But you guys ran it like you guys had an iron fist, right?
Pretty much.
You know, well, hold your thought, because the difference between private and public sector,
Okay.
like around here, everybody goes, well, people should pay more. Well, at one time, certain people here didn't pay on their health insurance. They do now, everybody does. Is it what the public would like? Probably not, but it's a step forward. Okay, it is a step forward, and, you have to start somewhere, okay? And there's a realization by some employees here that the old golden days are gone. That
they are going to be gone.
Yeah. So, but you just can't go in and say, like when you're dealing with certain unions, you got mandatory arbitration,
right.
Just like the teachers too. Okay, you just can't go in and change your contract.
That's negotiable.
Right, but it takes two sides to rumble, and they're not rumbling.
No, they're not.
Okay, so now if someone's to go wrong, and the state would take it over, a lot of those issues go out the window. Okay?
Speaking of two sides rumbling, after this, I have a question.
Okay, go ahead, caller.
Hey, I have a question for you, Kaz.
Yes.
We're on the shore, right?
Right.
How much is Ralph Pontillo putting into his pockets? How much is the mayor putting into his pockets? What's the city's take? Who's paying for all the security? And, they're making every year thousands of dollars, and you never hear where the money's going. I'd like to see some accountability for that.
You won't get it from them because they're a private organization. If it was the city running it, you could actually put a freedom of information request in. Like, if you want to know how much we spend on Celebrate Erie, it's a lot easier. Dealing with the Manufacturers Association, good luck. They wouldn't even, if you remember, they tried to do some investigation on the food vendors.
That was a joke.
And I will say this, that they do pay us, and I can find out the exact amount. They pay us a fee. They pay us some fees for food vendors. I think they pay us a fee for administration for the park, for allowing them to use certain areas. They do pay security. They do pay extra security and stuff like that. We do assign some men there, just like we would any major event. That would be hard to, it's hard to get a figure on that. But as a rule, the city does not make a lot of money on this. Because, like I say, Ralph and his organization will pay on the food vendors. They'll pay a fee for the use of some stages, but we don't get a share of their profit. No. Are you still there, sir?
You there? Hello, you there?
Yeah, a lot of people.
A year ago, remember I called up the court check. I said, how come Pontillo's taking 10% off the top? I said, I'll get back to you in a few days. So I called up and they said, you owe Pontillo and that woman an apology. There's no one. I said, wait a minute, I'm not apologizing to nobody. People ask me questions, I pass it on.
Hold your thought. Go ahead, caller.
The negative attitude with the public about the roar and the shore is disgusting, because they bring all that money into the city of Erie. As far as the police protection and all that, most of the police officers are off duty,
Well, I know Ralph pays.
I
know his organization they have private security, and they also hire off-duty Erie guys.
That's true.
Now, I can tell you this, and I can't put a finger on it because it's difficult. They will assign officers as they have some available, just like they would for, let's say, you had the Russian festival. We would, we'd send cars over there. We'd send them near Zabava. Anytime you have a lot of citizens in any one place, the chief is going to send people around.
It's common sense.
Yeah, but now if some breaks out on the other side of town, let's say, those guys are gone, except for the ones that they hired,
And people, they'll moan about Celebrate Erie and everything else, yet they want to know why the city is falling behind and everything. Because it's the people with the attitude that don't want to bring it in. And those people are the ones that are always screaming and yelling about it.
Well, I think some people do have a legitimate complaint, okay? And I think maybe as the event goes on, there's some things that can be cleaned up a little bit. The noise is a factor.
Downtown Erie takes care of the cleaning up.
Well, and I'm sure, when you get to like some of the people who live in the apartments, that's the ones that got the complaint. They don't like the noise.
Well, it's only till about 10:30.
Yeah, but you know what?
I understand some of them party off a little longer than that.
And you know what? That's a problem that we created when we decided to put
block parties in.
Yeah, but also when we decided to put
the ballpark.
More elderly people downtown, where some towns the downtown is populated by young people who are a little bit more tolerant. But you know yourself, John, as we get older, we don't have music till 3:00 in the morning.
That's true.
Like that's why I got up in my neighborhood. After a point, you say, you know what? I like listening to music too, but I don't want to bother the neighbors, Oh,
you want to keep it low and whatever, and of course, then again, you listen to Benny Goodman and Glenn Miller and all that.
But if that guy wants to know how much, I can't tell you how much Ralph gets because that's a private organization,
They donate the majority and just meet expenses. The majority this year is going to St. Martin's up there on 18th and Parade, and I think that's the only bad part about it. St. Martin's just spent $1.5 million, $2 million for that corner, and they renovated it and all with.
But that's why I told that guy, what I meant to say to that guy earlier that was complaining about Erie Insurance, and I can understand his concern. The trouble is you get like St. Martin's now, that one's off the tax rolls.
Right, Erie Insurance is paying.
They will, if they don't pay this year or next year or 5 years, they will pay.
Right, but have you been down in their area? What was he talking about, the gas station going?
Back on
no, there was a house down there.
Well, yeah, they took a lot of them houses out.
If you see their master plan, and this is what the public doesn't see all the time. And
the old armory?
Well, yeah, what they want to do, and they made it clear, they want to build a campus that goes approximately, right now at least, up to Parade Street.
Well, it goes up from 6th and French to 6th and Parade, and right now it encompasses down to 4th Street.
Right, and then they do intend to build, at least they told us that was their master plan at the time, all things are subject to change.
And they've refurbished a lot. They've built some places, and they're doing a good job. The only thing I don't like, they want to get their evaluation dropped down with their tax limit, like everybody else is doing.
Yeah, that's the reality of what everybody's doing.
But the problem there is it's with Harrisburg. Because the nonprofits, there's too many nonprofits, and there's no way to go ahead and get the nonprofits to contribute or to be checked every 5 years like they should be. They're not all 503Cs.
No, we could challenge them, but you know what? The decision has got to be. When people tell me, they say, "Well, change the law." We can't change the law as a council.
You got to go down to Harrisburg.
Yeah, but I tell you this, when we meet down there once a year, at least, at the League of Cities, we pound them constantly about the same issues over and over, which is the larger cities need some relief from the nonprofit. I mean, Pittsburgh gets hammered, Allentown gets hammered, everybody gets hammered.
with the exception of Philadelphia.
Well, yeah, but even they get hammered a little bit.
Yeah, but my God, look at the money they give Philadelphia.
Well, yeah, they get it from the state, but, when you look at, like, Pittsburgh, they got the same problem we do. They got University of Pittsburgh, they got UPMC, Allegheny Health Network.
And got Carnegie Mellon, they got them all down there.
Duquesne, Carlo, I mean, you look at all that, eds and meds, they call it. And, yes, they provide jobs, yes, they do this, but the problem is they don't pay taxes. Now, in Erie, like in Pittsburgh, some of the people who live downtown that they got some upgraded apartments. Here in Erie, I would be willing to bet that most of the people that work at either the hospitals, education, Erie Insurance, a lot of they're out in the suburbs.
True.
Well, we're not getting any kind of benefit.
That's right.
I mean, at least Erie Insurance pays taxes, but on the other hand, we're getting half from Vincent and Hammett, but, Gannon, Merciers, all that's...
How many spin-off businesses do they have that they're not paying taxes on?
Who's that?
Well, Hammett, Vincent,
Well, the for-profit ones, they do capture.
Yeah, they tax some of them, but I want to go to another thing real quick here.
Go ahead.
The redevelopment office up there on the 5th floor or whatever. How come all these little places are coming in and going to Harbor Creek, they're going to Mill Creek? Why do we have that woman down there running it when she's not doing anything but taking CDBG money and funneling it to the wrong areas? You're going to have a Popeyes come in Harbor Creek. A Popeyes is going to come in over on Pittsburgh Avenue, Peninsula Drive.
Did they announce a Popeyes there too?
They're going to have one there and one in Harbor Creek. You just had that Taiwan restaurant open up there in Summit.
Well, what's discouraging to me is all the grocery stores are opening up and we still can't get one in Grandview.
That's true.
They're still sitting there empty as,
And where is our redevelopment?
Well, that's not redevelopment. That's the other department.
Well, that is your economic development.
Economic development. I'm not pleased because look,
I heard your presentation with your speech at that rip-roaring council meeting last week there, and I was really impressed with you laying it right on the line. And the whole thing here is, I think you got to throw your hat in the ring and get ready to get a group ready to take care of that 5th floor.
My wife would think I'm nuts, but...
Well, that's all right. All women think we're nuts anyways.
But, seriously, we have to... it is discouraging when, when you talk to these people, these developers, we have to find a way to bring them in here because, John, I go over 38th Street.
Oh, boy.
And the breakfast place is doing good?
Yes. Well, that new place opened up on Grandview. Of course, it's not in the city. It's on...
No, but it's proof. It's at least proof that this side of town needs stuff,
That's
right?
true.
Dairy Queen is shortly, I think, going to make some renovations.
I would hope so.
Yeah, we gave him a loan about a year or so ago. Then you also got, Timmy Horton's invested. He's doing well. You go down the line, Jade Garden, Pizza Hut, they all do pretty good. I'm going to miss one, I know, but...
No, Wash. I'm sure that's on the tax roll.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm going, they got this thing of this belief that, like my parish priest tried to get in Applebee's to come here, and they said, no. And what did they do? They moved it a block over into Harbor Creek.
True.
1 block over the line out of,
Wow.
out of Wesleyville.
Yeah.
It's discouraging. I mean...
It was discouraging last week when the mayor was on with Steinhagen. He didn't know how many employees he had in code enforcement. And you would think that would be the one thing that he would have his fingers on.
I believe it's 5, if I remember right.
5.
But...
didn't know. He said to the talk host that he would have to, the gentleman asked the question, he would have to get a hold of city engineering.
I'll tell you, this truck ordinance, when I was riding around town, people are like really perturbed about,
the lack of enforcement.
Right. They said, now you want to put semis in our neighborhood. And, like I was just driving around, the number of cars that are parked on lawns and...
They didn't say that they wanted to put semis in the neighborhoods. The drivers, and they have a hard life.
Yeah.
They park their cars in their own driveways out of the way for the weekend that they're home. I see nothing wrong with that. But when I go on 38th and Pine Avenue and see rigs tied up, parked there, I think they even do it some at that Walmart down there they have.
Well,
that is the disturbing thing.
Well, here's the thing the public doesn't understand. They'll say, well, why can they do it there? Well, because those are not zoned residential. And that's the key thing. Like, if you go to a suburb, chances are you see very little commercial or, C1 zones or anything like that, except on the corners or up on the main drag. But in the residential neighborhoods, in Erie, it's not unusual, to have the remnants of old stores and stuff like that. And like Walmart, that's not zoned R1.
Well, I look down on 38th Street, all these apartments that these landlords are having.
Yeah.
They're not zoned for apartments.
No, but they under R1 you can make what they call you can rent them out as long as you keep you can keep three or less if they're not related. If they're related like a family, let's say somebody bought it for his kid from out of town, if they were related, they could put 5 people in there.
Even if it's not zoned for apartments?
Well, there's no zoning for apartments except when you get into what they call multiple apartments, like the one, I believe, John, it's like the one along 38th Street. That's a different classification.
Yeah, well, that's the one where they have waste management pick up their garbage.
Or like Jefferson Apartments, things like that. But there's a lot of places where people have apartments for rent in R1 areas. The only thing they have to do is they have to be inspected by BUI. You have to meet code criteria. But you can have one as long as you go to that criteria. But you can't put in as like boarding houses or multiple apartments like a large building. That would require rezoning.
Alrighty, I'll get off here. I left you a message on your phone. So
yeah, I did. I'm trying to get back to you, and I'll look. If it's what you told me about, I'll try to find one for you.
Okay, I'm a busy man here. I got to go pick blueberries.
Where you get them at?
My backyard.
Oh.
I'm
looking for blackberries.
You shouldn't have told me, John.
I'm down.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Well, I love blueberries.
So my question is,
yes,
what's going on with this love triangle between the county, the city, and EMTA? How are we doing on that? Any new information?
No.
Nope.
They're trying to dump it on the city. But where's that money going to go? The county gives the money.
Pardon?
Where's that money going to go? $100-some thousand the county reimburse the city with.
What do you mean they reimburse us?
Don't the county get $100-some thousand? They give it to the city to run it?
With the EMTA?
Yeah.
No, the way it works now is they give, not counting the grants. Okay, they give $330,000, we give $270,000. Okay, and a few other communities throw a little bit extra money in. But right now they're not giving us their share. That's where it is.
That's going to hurt the city.
Well, I can't discuss it. There is a plan. I'm not gonna play the game that the county did.
Yeah.
I'm not going to discuss this with letters to the editor. And I don't work for the Times. I don't work for WICU. I don't work for JET. I work for the people. Okay. And any plan we have is not going to be released until it's ready. Okay. So they can prod me all they want. We have a plan. Okay. There was no negotiation. There never was any because it was all one-sided.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah.
One time, Kathy.
Anytime they really want to talk, the table's open. Really talk.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it'll be last term.
This ain't Pan Moon John, okay?
Oh.
This ain't Pan Moon John. This is not the deck of the Missouri. Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, I talked to you earlier about the taxes at the area housing authorities, like the school taxes. Do they pay school taxes?
I don't think they do. I honestly, I'd have to ask the treasurer, but I don't believe they pay because I think they're a government agency.
Okay, what about, do they pay city taxes?
No, they wouldn't pay any, but what they do with us, they do fund 2 or 3 police officers under a special unit, and they also make a donation to the city every year in lieu of taxes. So that's what tells me I don't think they do make I have to, you know what, I don't have this year's contribution at my fingertips. I'll announce it for you next week.
All right, thank you very much.
But they do, I know they have what they call the Quebec unit. That's a special unit of police officers that work the project, so it's not like, they fund them, so.
Yeah.
And and John, when John Moran was down there, he was giving us a contribution every year. The last few years, that was
him. How about the new one?
Well, I think they'll carry through. In his memory, I mean, I think he realized he ran a tight ship.
Oh, I know he did. Nice job.
But, I don't think they do pay taxes, though. I'll find out for you, sir.
Yeah, they should find out about the school taxes, because most of the people that live in them projects, they don't pay taxes.
No, that's the problem with, that's what Harrisburg doesn't realize. If you're in an apartment, let's say you rent an apartment, you don't pay directly, but your landlord does. So you do pay. Are you following me, sir?
Yeah, but if the authority's not paying, then actually they're not paying those taxes, school taxes at all.
Right, and that's a problem like what big cities have, which is, at least with renters, the landlord's got to pay the taxes and pass it on to you, or usually. But yes, that's our problem, and Harrisburg has never realized that we have immigrant population and the numbers are growing, yet the money's not there to back them. But I will check into that for you. But right now, I don't believe they do.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, we're going to find out next week, but they do make a contribution, that I know.
Yeah.
And they fund a couple of police officers with a special unit. But as get back to the bus, it would just, they're playing out the media all the time. Nobody comes here and talks to us.
Seems to be an issue with society.
The county exec was talking. She never once approached council.
She don't know what she's doing.
Well, she didn't approach council about it.
Yeah, the woman don't know what she's doing. It's like I said, it's one-time counting.
I think that's a problem with society, is that people think that if you go to public opinion and you get enough people on your side, then they can change a thing that happened, but it shouldn't be that way. It should go through proper channels.
Well, you know what? We got a separation here. We run the city, they run the county.
Yeah.
On some projects, we
also pay them taxes.
Hey, they claim we never wanted to deal with them. Well, you know what?
Yeah.
We dealt with them since this mayor was here too now, okay?
Right.
We dealt with them on issues going back to Joyce and Joe and Rick and all them. We have dealt with them on the Convention Center Authority, the Port Authority, the Airport Authority. We have changed different things, So there has been some cooperation.
Right.
What did we get when they had the gambling money? Nothing. Nothing, right?
How about the hotel tax?
We don't get that.
How much you say was in there? 10 million?
Wow.
It was around that $10 million.
And we can't charge the tax under state law. See, we're a third-class city, so third-class cities cannot charge a room tax.
But where's the
money?
The
county can.
The county does. Where's the county takes that money?
Yeah, they take the money, and that subsidizes
a lot of things.
It subsidizes they take that money and some of the gambling money, and that's given to pay off their, the hotels they built, to subsidize Casey Wall's shortfalls in the arena, because the arena does not make money.
Never did.
Not even Madison Square Garden probably makes money. So they're subsidized. Like years ago, the city used to give them, back when this was a big amount, they used to give them $100,000 to $200,000 a year for shortfalls. That's when that was today we don't, 100,000, that's nothing.
That's a drop in a bucket.
Yeah, today's economy. So they use that room tax to subsidize them and the group the chamber and all that advertises outside the city.
The joke.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the ones that hand out the pamphlets and all that. So that's where that money goes. We don't We can't do it though, because under state law, our class city can't do it. And as I said in the past, there's Philadelphia number 1, Pittsburgh is at number 2, and everybody else is considered third class, except Scranton, I think, which is a 2A hybrid.
The only way to become a second-class city is to increase our population.
I don't know if that's necessary.
Really?
But
that's
at one
what
time when we were 138,000,
Yeah.
they were considering, Scranton did it.
Yeah.
Scranton was actually, I think, bigger than Allentown at the time, too. They went what they call 2A, because Pittsburgh's 2, they're not going to make it Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So, 2A would give you but you had to make some changes in your government. We probably didn't want to do that.
Right.
That's
Are
like
we
Mill
more
Creek.
open to that
Here's
now?
a prime example. Got 2 cities in Erie County. You know what they are?
Meadville and Erie.
No, Meadville's in Crawford.
That's right.
Okay, Erie's one, third-class city. What's the other one?
Edinburgh's not considered. That's out Erie.
It's a borough.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Corey.
Corey. Interesting.
It's very small, right?
Yeah.
Who do you think's bigger than Corey?
Everybody?
Just head west. Head west to Erie. Who's Mill Creek?
Mill Creek.
Yeah.
50-some thousand people.
Sure.
There are cities in Pennsylvania out east that, like, your Yorks and Reddings, that, the population of just a city is 50 to 60,000. Okay? They could be a city, Mill Creek.
Yeah.
They choose not to. That's their, they had a study commission. I don't know what the requirements would be to go to 2A. I don't know if there might be a population thing, but
Yeah. Would that benefit us? Would we be able to?
I don't even know what Scranton does because I never looked at their. But in Pittsburgh's case, they can charge room taxes. They can levy. They're actually fighting for a extra % on the sales tax of Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of 6, they'll get 7. One will go to Allegheny,
Yeah.
like Allegheny County,
Right.
and that's being run with Pittsburgh and Allegheny, I think. We can't do that here right now. There's also things like they do beverage taxes and things that are novel.
Yeah.
So, in Philadelphia, they write the book. They do whatever they want. They got the political power to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, you would look at Pittsburgh and Philly and go, why aren't they first class each? Right?
Yeah.
But they're not. The way to, in some states, cities are treated differently,
Right.
But
Well, we got a couple minutes left here. If you want to wrap up, you got anything coming up besides Celebrate Erie? Blues and Jazz. Blues and Jazz is coming up in a couple of weeks. The first weekend in August usually, and then 2 weeks after that is Celebrate Erie.
yeah, but it's coming up quick.
It is coming very quickly. Yes. So
The end of summer is here. I mean, close.
the end of
I was going to
summer.
ask you, how about the school taxes? When are they giving that out?
When are they what?
The school taxes, when do they send them out?
Aren't they going through some kind of change now?
Yeah, they got something, they put a special thing on it. Percentage.
Well, they're trying to change that again. I wish we get somebody on there from there to talk about it.
Oh, we would nail them then.
Yeah, I'd like to know if we're still closing schools. Is that happening?
I don't think, right now, I think that's off the
They got
grid.
the money from the state.
Good.
That doesn't mean they won't do it,
Right.
down the line. But, you like that gentleman brought up,
Yeah.
you take all the kids that are in the housing projects, right?
Yeah.
There's no tax money coming.
How about the foreigners coming here, can't speak English? Now you gotta get an interpreter, then you have to go through all that stuff. That's a big burden on the school.
Oh, we have to hire them here if they arrest them. If they arrest a person that can't speak English. Some of our people are fluent in certain languages. We have, people that speak Spanish and mainstream languages, but, the rest get to be a challenge. They haven't quite caught up with that yet. But, yeah, when we have to hire the institute to come in, I thought it was like $50 an hour or something. Whatever, I can remember getting the bills on it.
Yeah. Well, hey, thanks for having us on. it's been fun.
I have to say, Stemco is rather subdued.
Quiet. I got things going on. Next week I found out about my stem cell. It's working.
Okay, that's good news.
Next week from Friday. But West Grandview, now is that half city and half Mill Creek?
No, what they do at Grandview.
It's terrible.
Yeah, but what they do at Grandview is certain parts of Grandview the city takes care of, and certain with border roads. Traditionally, communities will get together, and they'll say the road is 8 miles long, right? It doesn't make sense to split it down the middle. That's kind of silly. Same with plowing, right? What are you going to do, just run down there and there? No. Usually what they do is they say, you take care of this stretch, we take care of that stretch.
It's terrible.
What part of it?
From Route 8 all the way to Lake Pleasant. That's bad.
I wonder who... I'm going to have to check whose section that is. Because traditionally, that's what they do. They will lay out certain sections will be under Mill Creek, some will be under Erie. And
like Marion Street, they're going to 41st Street. They really have to go to Grandview. The road between 41st and Grandview is really terrible.
You're saying the road like behind the plaza is a bad one, right?
Yeah.
Well, we could talk more about that next week. Let's wrap up.
You come
here.
back next week?
I could do that.
Okay.
I just want to give one final shout out to our viewer in Ohio. Hi, Joe. He watches.
He gets calls from Puerto Rico and
Puerto Rico, awesome.
The islands, Hawaii.
I got that.
Thank you for watching us outside of USA. We're on the internet.
We are?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
This stream's live. It's going out right now on the internet.
This is live, right?
Yeah, we're live. It's live.
So what do you think of that? They let the president let 5 guys, how many, 20, 30 guys, and 100 guys left?